Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables. Today I'm here to do a video that I just am really excited to do. It is, if you like this rom-com, chances are you'll like this book. If you don't know, I love rom-coms. They are my favorite genre. They are my comfort genre. I always say the 90s and early 2000s are the best rom-coms. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of really good rom-coms lately. Like there just hasn't. There's been maybe one a year that I've really enjoyed, but it's not like it's used to, but that's how everything is. But either way, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite rom-coms and books that I think pair really well with that rom-com. I want to start off with is one that really sparked this video idea for me, and that is Sleepless in Seattle. So Sleepless in Seattle is of course a Nora Ephron movie, which is, she does some of my favorite movies of all time. Sleepless in Seattle, I don't love, like it's not one of my favorites. It is quite sad, but it does have romantic, but I love her other ones. But needless to say, Nora Ephron is chef's kiss amazing at rom-coms, like amazing. So if you loved Sleepless in Seattle, of course you were really gonna love First Time Caller. Just a couple months ago and fell in love with it. It is literally like Sleepless in Seattle. So in this book we follow two different characters, Lucy and Aiden. And Aiden is a radio host of, like, I forget what it's called. It's a Baltimore hotline. I forget what the heartstrings, because his last name is Valentine, and he is kind of the host that you would not expect to be the host of like a love radio kind of talk show. People call him for advice, and he is kind of so anti-love and has a lot of jaded views on that. And then one night he gets a call from a like 12-year-old girl, and she's like, I really want my mom to find love. She just doesn't have love and I really want her to. And the mom overhears and she's like, who the heck are you talking to? So basically Lucy and Aiden go on air and it becomes viral. And so the radio station's like, we should really try to bring her on air and like try to find her love. You can clearly see where the plot is going. The romance between Aiden and Lucy was just so adorable and wholesome, and I love the family elements into it. It just very much is a love letter to Sleepless in Seattle. I thought the romance is very organic. It was kind of a slow burn a la Sleepless in Seattle, but also that was kind of not a slow burn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Either way, if you are a big fan of Sleepless in Seattle, I think First Time Caller is a great recommendation that kind of fits right in that genre. Next up, we have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the classic. This is very much more leaning, I'd say, towards comedy than romance. It does have a lot of romance in it. It's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely a comfort watch. I probably watch it once every year. It's just a fun one. So the book that just literally is perfect for this movie is The Romcom by Devin Daniels. Read this one last year. I liked it. I didn't love it, but man, it was ode to How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. In this book, please forgive me because it's been over a year since I've read it. It's about a girl that I think she's a writer, kind of like Andy Anderson in the movie, and she founds this art. She, you know, has a grandma that tells her like, you know, for love you need to go back to like the 1950s, and she finds these articles of like 10 ways of how to get a man. And so she decides, I'm gonna write an article about this. Like I'm gonna catch a man the old-fashioned way, and it's gonna be things that she thinks will turn men off, because obviously the world is a lot different from then. And so it's kind of about that. She meets this guy who's kind of a higher kind of finance type of guy. Things happen. It's a cute one. I'd say if you are a huge fan of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, this is a great one for that. Overall, they're both just really fun rom-coms in my opinion. Another comfort watch for me, one I watch every single year, Legally Blonde. If you love Legally Blonde, you definitely need to read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This also really reminds me a lot of Schitt's Creek, in particular of the character of Alexis, because both Elle Woods and Alexis are kind of richy, haughty-taughty girls that don't know any real pain or suffering or work or anything, and they get thrust into a world where it's like, oh, you're gonna have to work and things are gonna have to change. They're like, what? But they both adapt and they're both amazing. So this is literally like that. So this book we follow a character named Piper, who is a rich kind of socialite girl, and basically her stepdad's like, I'm tired of this. I'm not gonna support this anymore, so you're gonna go back to your dad that's been passed away's old dive bar, like in this fisher town in the middle of nowhere, and you're gonna revitalize it to prove to me that you're adult and serious. And she's like, you know, I'll do it. And so she is just literally a big fish in a very small pond. And so there she meets Brendan, who is a very gruff, kind of fisherman guy, and they don't like each other at first, but then connections happen. This is very steamy, but Piper is very, very similar to Elle Woods and to Alexis Rose. They are just like all three of them you could put together in a room and they would be BFFs because they would be the same person. Worked really hard and they all changed their ways. So Legally Blonde, read this. Next up is gonna be a little bit out of left field, but I've been making this connection ever since I read this book. The next movies I'm gonna talk about are spy rom-coms, movies that aren't really romantic. They have a little bit of romance in them, but they're mostly comedies, but I'm still gonna include them anyway because it's my channel and I'm just gonna do it. So if you love the movie Spy that has Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham in it, or the movie The Spy Who Dumped Me, which has Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, you definitely need to read The Blonde Identity. I read this earlier this year and had such a fun time with it. Is this book not to be taken seriously? No. Are those movies? No. Like you watch them and you're like, these are not actual spies because they are the worst. But it's a good, fun time. Exactly what this book is. Follow a woman who wakes up in winter and right in front of the Eiffel Tower and she has no recollection of who she is, what she does, but spies are after her. Then she meets this guy who's like, I know you. And then she learns eventually that she has a twin sister and her twin sister's a spy and they're after her because they think she's her twin sister. It's just a fun, not to take it seriously, kind of fun romance book. This one definitely focuses more on the romance, and the movies I would say focus more on the comedy, but either way, they're all very similar. So if you like those movies, I think you would really like this book. Also, the audiobook is really, really fun. It's just a fun time. I think those movies are a fun time, and I think this book is a fun time. That's just how I feel. Next up is one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite rom-coms, You've Got Mail. I love You've Got Mail. I think a lot of us do. The combination of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan is sheer perfection. Meg Ryan was just everything in the like 90s. Oh gosh, I love it. So I am always on the hunt for a good You've Got Mail book, and there's a lot of them out there, honestly. There's a lot that have been compared to it. There's some I agree, some not. But my favorite one of all time that I think reminds me the most of You've Got Mail is Very Sincerely Yours by Carrie Winfrey. I read this a while ago. She even has, this whole series is called Waiting for Tom Hanks, I believe. And the first book I think is meant to be more of a You've Got Mail, but I think this one in the series, the third one, which by the way, you don't need to read them all in order. You can read them out of order, or just one, whatever. That one feels the most like You've Got Mail to me. So in this book, we have a character named Teddy, if I believe. Please forgive me. For some reason, I still don't own a physical copy of this book. It's a horrible one. But either way, it's a girl named Teddy, or maybe the guy's named Teddy. I don't know. Let's just say a lady. A lady is at the very beginning of the book going through a really bad breakup. Like her identity was solely tied in this relationship that her boyfriend just kind of left her high and dry. And so she doesn't know who she is anymore. So she's just watching TV a lot during the day. She works at a vintage toy shop. And some of the TV she watches is kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, kind of Jim Henson's. It's this guy, I think his name is Teddy, I don't know. And he just does a children's program, a local one with puppets. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to email him to ask him for advice because what could I lose? And so she does, and they start a conversation, and they start developing feelings for each other while not knowing each other in real life. So it's very, very much You've Got Mail inspired, and I love it. I thought the romance was cute. It's a, this one is very much a closed door romance, I will say, so no steamy times. It's cutesy romance, which I think You've Got Mail is like, the fall movie, the fall vibes, everything about it is amazing. And I think if you love You've Got Mail, I'm pretty sure you'll really enjoy Very Sincerely Yours. Next up is one that the movie I don't love, but I cannot deny the parallels between both of these. We have The Lake House. It's really not a rom-com. I'm aware of that. It's more of a romance drama. You know what I'm saying? But it's still romance. We got it, you know, it's my channel. I'm gonna do what I want. But when I think of The Lake House, I think it's a 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. My favorite book of hers. Oh, this book has got that beautiful love story that you just don't think will happen, and you're just rooting for it, but you just don't know about it, much like The Lake House. So in The Lake House, we have these two people that live in the same house, but different time periods, and they connect via letters. This one's similar, but different in a way. So this book, we follow a character named Clementine, and she moves into her aunt who's passed away's house. And her aunt has always told her apartment's a little bit kind of finicky, like the windows won't close, sometimes the door will open, and it's like kind of a time warp kind of portal thing. So sometimes she'll step into the apartment and it'll be 7 years in the future. Sometimes she'll step in the apartment, it'll be 7 years in the past. Sometimes she'll step in the apartment and it'll be just now. So basically one day she steps in the apartment and it's 7 years past, and there's this guy there who is living there for the summer while her aunt, because she's still alive because it's 7 years in the past, is out of town. They quickly fall in love. She doesn't ever want to leave the apartment because she doesn't know if she's gonna see him again, and it's just got that time travel, love, romance thing kind of in it, much like The Lake House. I don't love The Lake House, I'll say that. I'm not a big fan of it, but I adore this book. But the similarities are blaringly obvious when you put these two together. Like it's insane. They're very similar. So I would say if you like The Lake House, check this one out. No, not my favorite rom-com. My second favorite rom-com. I still have yet to find a book that really identifies with my favorite rom-com of all time. That's 10 Things I Hate About You. That's my favorite movie, period. But my second favorite movie and rom-com of all time is When Harry Met Sally. I love a good friends to lovers romance. It is just I love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, but Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, oh, I love that movie so deeply much. Like I watch that multiple times a year. Like You've Got Mail, a lot. So I was really trying to rack my brain on like, there's a lot of friends to lovers type of books, and I'm like, what could one be that's really like When Harry Met Sally? And the one I thought of was People We Meet on Vacation. So this is about two friends, because that is the prerequisite here, people. This is about Poppy and Alex, and they have been friends for a long time. They are very different. Much like Harry and Sally, Harry is very much loose and goes with the flow of things. Sally is very kind of uptight, even when she orders, like, I went off to the side, and then I want this, but only if you have this. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you would think they would not even be friends because of how vastly different they are. But somehow they just click, just like Poppy and Alex, only it's completely different. Alex is the more kind of reserved one, and Poppy is adventurous. Ever since college, every year they take a week-long vacation together wherever they decide to go. But only problem is, at the beginning of this book, they haven't seen each other for, I think, a few years, and something happened really big that you don't know exactly what, and basically they're going to spend one last vacation together to try to remedy it. It's very much When Harry Met Sally. It doesn't, you know, When Harry Met Sally, you get to see kind of how Harry and Sally met, they meet again, and they meet again in the future. This one's kind of like that. We go past when they take other vacations. Stuff like that. But I would say they're very similar. I could do a whole video, honestly, on books kind of like When Harry Met Sally, because I think just the friends to lovers romance is kind of just like the movie, the whole genre. But this one, I would say, reminds me most of the movie. Next up, just bear with me here, we have Crazy Rich Asians. And I know you're like, that's already a book, Heather, duh. It's a movie and a book. But you know, I'm gonna break because it is what it is. I have not read the book, I don't plan to, but I do enjoy the movie. I think it's a really fun one. And I think there's another book that's kind of comparable to that. It's a little bit different, but it's got kind of the same vibes. Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Santano. It's very hilarious, much like Crazy Rich Asians. It has a lot of familiar things, and very strong opinions and personalities and things, just like Crazy Rich Asians. So I'd say if you like these Crazy Rich Asians, I think you'll like this book. So this book is about a character named Madeline who is on a date one night, and then her date suddenly like just leaves this plane, if you get what I'm saying. And she's like, oh crap, like what the heck happened here? And so she calls all of her aunties and her mom to help her, and they're also in the wedding business, which is another tie to kind of Crazy Rich Asians, because the whole plot is kind of based on this one wedding, that how she's meeting the whole family. So they have to kind of figure it out. This one's definitely got like a murder aspect to it, which the movie does not, but they're both similar, if you catch my drift. They don't have to be exact replicas, okay? They're similar. I'd say if you like the movie, I think you'll really enjoy this book. It's a fun time. You'll laugh. You'll have a good time with it. And it does have romance in it. It has a second chance one, which I really adore. What I want to talk about is one that I'm kind of iffy on. Like, it does have some similarities, but not 100%. And that is The Proposal. This has Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. I think it's a funny one. It's hate to love. People working together that loathe each other pretty much, and they have to fake a relationship and things like that. The one that I think is very much like that is The Hidden Game by Sally Thorne. This is my favorite romance of all time. So this is similar to The Proposal and different in ways too. That's why I'm like kind of, would it fit in there? So basically in The Proposal, you have a fake relationship. They don't do that in The Hidden Game. Well, they do. They go to a wedding and it's kind of like a fake thing, but I'm not 100% sure. But basically in this book, we have Lucy and Josh, who are both assistants to different CEOs of this publishing company. They loathe each other. They mock each other every day. That's just how they are. And then basically feelings start happening and they're like, wait, do I really hate you? Do I like you? Because I hate working with you and stuff like that. That's kind of similar to The Proposal in my opinion, and they're both in the publishing industry. That's a connection as well. I will take that. So this one is like, kind of like it, but I love this book. I just recommend you read this book any day of the week, honestly. But if you like The Proposal, I think you'll like this book. I hope you'll like this book. I love it. So there you have all of the books that I think are great if you love these particular rom-coms. If you have any suggestions, if you're watching this video, you're like, oh my gosh, what about this movie with this book? Please let me know, because I know I'm missing some, and I know some of them are blaringly obvious, but I will do a part 2, part 3 of this the more I think about it. But I love doing this because it's just fun, because I love rom-coms and I love reading them too. They're just a fun time. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.